And welcome back to the Daily Plus Live. We are down here at the North American International Auto Show where the media has been here this morning for the reveals. It's a big kickoff to the weekend. Joining me now live is Rod Albers, and he is the co-chair of this year's show. It's always good to see you, Rod.
Great being here, and thanks for being out here today to show off what we have in Detroit. And what a great day for the city. You know, we can really show it off to the world what we're all about here.
And the industry as well. Carl Zimmerman is going to be the co-chair of next year's auto show, so we're already putting you to work, Carl.
Yes, ma'am. Happy to be here. Great to be part of it.
All right, Rod, why don't you go ahead and give people, we've been talking about how this show is different from it was last year, the expansive nature of it and the more interactive things that we're going to see. How do you feel about it this year?
We're so excited about it because there's so much here to do for the consumer, not just the media that we have here today with the debuts, but we have activations, in other words, cars that people can get in and experience and learn about what electrification means. Not just that, but hybrid cars, just every kind of vehicle you can imagine. But the key to the whole thing is making a great experience for the consumer and for the family, and look for your next vehicle. But we have to educate the consumer here too, and that's part of it, but to make it exciting. And when I have Carl Zimmerman here with me, doing all the things he's doing to sell cars and reach out to the consumer, they're the closest to the consumer, and that makes a big difference on what we do every day with our job.
Yeah, because car buying has changed for all of us, and you know that better than anyone in terms of what people want to see and how they want to experience it, and even experience the buying process as well. But for people to be able to go from car to car and then not have it around glass, or then feel like they have to go to very different areas, how would you say that this experience is different this year for consumers?
Well, the activation of the electric vehicles in the track has been a major thing. The Ford Mountain and the Jeep exhibit are great opportunities for folks to get in and experience the electric vehicles. So many folks don't have a familiarity or an understanding with how things work, the acceleration, the braking. So it's a great experience to be able to have that opportunity. Unlike anything else, you can do this in a showroom, you can do it on the street, but it's one thing to be able to walk 10 feet and experience another vehicle, or to go get in the car and go accelerate and get on the skid pad.
Exactly, we've seen people really enjoying that.
Yeah. You know the really cool thing about the show this year is too, because we learned last year what we had to do to get all the brands in, and we have. We reported 35 brands. Well, we actually have 38 brands. We have 3 Rolls Royces out here. We've got Lucid, we've got Polestar, we've got Rivian. Just take that and add on to the other mainstream brands.
McLaren,
we have. We have McLaren, and I think you look good in a McLaren.
I mean, I think I do too. I'm just going to say.
Yeah, right. But the nice thing is with the exotics and and having the dealers involved, we're able to bring all these cars to the show and really present them in a real great opportunity to show them to the consumer, show them to the media, and really make Detroit really shine. That's really what it comes down to. We want to be that.
Now, Rod, we've talked a lot in the last couple of years about a little bit of competition between the other auto shows, looking at LA, New York, even Frankfurt, and where Detroit stacks up and the changing of the time of the year. And people say, what's the future of an auto show like that, or the need for these kinds of shows around the country and around the world? And what would you say to that?
The old days of competing with other shows isn't really there anymore. It used to be we'd compete, the big shows like Frankfurt and Tokyo and Paris, Geneva and Detroit, we'd compete for debuts. A lot of these are done on the internet or social media whenever they're ready, and it's not like that now. So the key is really to do it for the consumer. You build the show accordingly, and you do it to the culture and the strength of what your show has. And you see it around the world. Doesn't matter, Frankfurt moving to Munich and doing what they do. Chicago has a purpose, LA, New York, but so does Santa Fe, so does Miami. They all have great shows. But in the end...
And they have different car culture too, which is really so fascinating.
Right, and that's the key. You've got to really look at who your audience is. And if you're in Texas, you better be F-150 or something like that, or a Silverado. I better say Silverado,
yes,
right?
You better.
So they're really getting behind it all and understanding who you are and getting to the basics and core and making sure the consumer's number one. That's the difference. And 38 brands at the show here, I think we just delivered for next week when the consumers do come in.
Exactly, and everyone can come on in on Saturday morning.
They can, bright and early. We'll have this thing rolling, and you can come in, bring the family. We have Camp Jeep, but then for the big family members, mom and dad, and then we got little Camp Jeep for the kids to get in.
Yeah.
So it's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And really, again, to come out, and this is our livelihood. This is what we do, and we have to take the lead in mobility, and let's all together make that happen.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier about we're really in a place in the industry where it's disruption. And you see that this is a huge shift in how the vehicles are made, what we're going to be relying on, and also a mind shift for all of us as consumers about what we're going to be driving and what we're going to be needing. I'm going to ask you, Carl, when you see people think, I am moving more towards EVs, and I'm looking over here at the E-Ray, at this Corvette, what are you hearing from customers about that mind shift?
Well, it really depends. You have folks that are early intenders, early adopters, people who are prioritizing sustainability and energy efficiency as something that's very high on their list. And you got other folks who just want something reliable, tried and true. So it's nice to be able to come to the show and evaluate, talk to some of the product experts. But we're having that conversation on showroom floors all the time. It's always been that way. But now there's a whole new set of decision criteria, a whole new bunch of information that people are processing, and a whole bunch of different experiences that people are looking for. So it's something we've done for a long time, but now it's a whole nother elevation to that process.
Absolutely. All right, Carl Zimmerman, who is going to be the co-chair for next year's auto show, get to work already. We're going to send you on your way. And Rod Albers, it's great to see you so much, and best of luck, and have a wonderful show this week.
Thank you. See you charity preview night, I hope. Little Jennifer
I
Aniston,
hope so. I mean,
on.
how can you say no to that,
We
right?
gotta go, right? Let's all get out there and have some fun.
Exactly, and support those great charities here in
That's
Detroit,
what
which
it's
is
all
all
about.
about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, and you know what? I think we've done it for you here on the floor of the North American International Auto Show. It's been really great to just give you a sense of what we're all looking at this year, and some of the new vehicle reveals, and the sense of, I think, evaluating where the automotive industry is right now. And I know that we talked earlier on in the show to Rod Maloney, who is covering negotiations between the UAW and the Detroit 3. I mean, that is still part of this auto story. So we might be inside and we might be seeing the best of the best in the products, but that part of what this industry is like moving forward, how its workers are included in the manufacturing of the next generation of these vehicles, is also a very large part of this discussion. But you look at the engineering that's here, you look at the technology that has changed, and it really is worth time to come down here and to be able to see some of these things. And hey, face it, we've all got to drive, we've all got to commute to work, so hopefully we're all riding in something that we enjoy and that we can afford. And that's also another conversation to have about affordability of vehicles, especially in the next gen when we're talking about EVs. So I hope you have enjoyed all of our tour here on the Daily Plus Live of everything that we have to offer on autos. I'm just going to give a shameless plug to a streaming series that we have on Local 4 Plus called What's in That Garage. So if you're a bit of a gearhead, or you enjoy quirky people and their quirky automobiles inside their garages, I want you to go Local 4 Plus, click on Detroit.com, and stream our series What's in That Garage. Just 6-minute stories of really cool people all around Metro Detroit and their really cool cars. All right. I think that is going to do it for me. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you stay with ClickOnDetroit.com for all of the North American International Auto Show news, and of course the negotiations with the UAW and the Detroit 3. For everyone at Local 4, and thanks too much to the crew here, Hans, Ian, Ro, Aaron back at the station, everyone in the control room, thanks for making it happen. We'll see you guys again. Take care.